Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird, To Kill a Mockingbird, Number 1. Welcome to the captivating world of To Kill a Mockingbird, a classic novel by Harper Lee that peeks into life in a small Southern American town through the eyes of a young girl named Scout. As you traverse the story, you'll witness a tale of growth, understanding, and a fight for justice. At the heart of this story are the timeless themes of race, inequality, and morality, explored through the relationships between the characters, from the righteous lawyer Atticus Finch to the misunderstood recluse Boo Radley. Get ready for an engaging journey that fosters profound contemplation on the societal issues of its time, and even more compelling, their relevance in today's world.
Maycomb, a town of contradictions. Maycomb, a small town in rural Alabama, was an administrative center and the seat of the county government. The town was an island of urbanity, with a larger number of professional people than were usually found in towns of its size. The tall, bespectacled lawyer Atticus Finch, a highly regarded lawyer in the county, was born and raised in Maycomb, and came from a family that had founded the town. He had decided against practicing criminal law because he found it a distasteful business. Maycomb is a town of contradictions. Despite being small with only one taxi, it was an administrative center with stylish buildings and wide oak-lined avenues. The courthouse was the most solid and pretentious building in the town, resting on pillars more suited to a Greek temple than a county court. The town's endlessness made it feel as though time moved more slowly in Maycomb than it did in other places. Maycomb's rural setting was a sea of cotton fields and timberland, but it was also an island of urbanity, with a larger number of professional people than were usually found in towns of its size. Among these professionals was Atticus Finch, who was highly regarded as the best lawyer in the county. However, Atticus didn't like the practice of criminal law as he found it distasteful. His ancestors had founded Maycomb, and there weren't many families in town to whom Atticus wasn't related by blood or marriage. He had represented two brothers who killed the town blacksmith, but despite instructing them to plead guilty to second-degree murder, they claimed the blacksmith got what was coming to him, and pled innocent. Atticus attended their execution dutifully and distastefully. Maycomb may have been a one-taxi kind of town, but it was a town of contradictions and complexities. Unearthing the monsters next door. Atticus' children are fascinated by the Radleys, an eccentric family with a dark reputation in their town. The children grew up playing a game trying to lure one of the Radleys, Arthur, Boo, out of his house. Their quest for adventure and Boo's mysterious existence grew in complexity with each daring attempt until it resulting in discovering the truth behind the Radleys' infamous reclusion. Atticus Finch is a loving father to his children Jem and Scout. He allows them to have their freedom, although he trusts that their housekeeper, Calpurnia, would keep a watchful eye over them. Calpurnia had, in a sense, become a maternal figure to Jem and Scout, taking care of them after their own mother passed away. Scout found it strange that Calpurnia was the only real friend her father had, especially since white men were not often friends with black women. The Radleys' house, just 3 doors down from the Finch home, was both alluring and repugnant. They were pious and strict individuals, living a life of penance and purity according to their creed. Years prior, their son Arthur, Boo, had gotten into trouble, causing the scandalous family to lock him up, resulting in a surge of rumors and gossip about the family. Years of isolation from the outside world and the condition of his imprisonment contributed to the legends of Boo's monstrosity. Jem and Scout became intrigued and awed by Boo's mysterious existence, to the point that they made it their mission to bring him outside by teasing him with notes, running around his home, and more. Atticus eventually caught wind of their antics and forbade them from continuing. During Dill's last night in Maycomb, Jem and Scout decided to take their final chance to catch a glimpse of Boo by sneaking into the Radleys' backyard. In a rush to escape, Jem's pants become stuck on a fence, and in their moment of despair, the two children observe something unexpected. Boo had neatly sewn the tear on Jem's pants. This event unraveled the mystery surrounding Boo and the Radleys. In conclusion, the story of Jem and Scout's obsession with the Radleys illustrates how society often creates monsters out of harmless people. These misconceptions serve as a reminder of the cost of allowing rumors and hearsay to spread. Moreover, it reveals the yearning children have for adventure and excitement, even if it means jumping into the unknown. Lessons from Atticus. Scout struggles with her schoolteacher's unrealistic expectations and racist classmates while her father, Atticus, defends a black man on trial for rape in their small Alabama town. Despite knowing they have little chance of winning, Atticus believes in the importance of standing up for what's right and teaching his children to have empathy and integrity. With Atticus's guidance, Scout learns to see the world from other people's perspectives and gains a deeper understanding of the human condition. As the trial approaches, Scout begins to understand just how much Atticus's values will shape her life and shape the way she sees the world. Stand against injustice. Atticus and his children stand against racism, demonstrating the power of conversation in diffusing tense situations. As Maycomb gears up for an upcoming trial, the town's attention is diverted from Boo to the divisive issue of race and discrimination. Tom Robinson, a black man, is deemed guilty by most before the trial even begins, but Atticus insists on fighting for his case. Atticus prepares for potential unrest by spending the night in town, a decision that doesn't sit well with Jem. When a group of men appear at the jail to take Tom, Atticus refuses to let them. Scout, Jem, and Dill secretly follow Atticus and spy on the scene. Tensions rise as the men demand Tom's release, but Scout diffuses the situation by initiating conversation with the leader, Walter Cunningham. Through kindness and empathy, Scout is able to break through Walter's anger and make a connection, showing the power of treating people with respect and humanity. In this scene, the reader sees the strength and courage of Atticus and his children as they stand against the racism and injustice present in their community. Atticus's insistence on doing what is right, even when it is unpopular, and his children's willingness to support him in his efforts, demonstrate the importance of standing up for what is just and fair. Moreover, Scout's ability to defuse the situation by engaging in conversation with Walter Cunningham highlights the power of empathy and kindness in bridging divides and finding common ground. The Trial of Tom Robinson. The novel narrates the story of the trial of Tom Robinson, a black farmhand who was wrongly accused of assaulting a white girl named Mayella Ewell. Despite being warned, Jem, Scout, and Dill attend the trial to witness what they believe is a show of racism in the courtroom. During the trial, the prosecutor presents the Ewell's account of the incident, claiming that Tom beat Mayella and forced himself on her. However, Atticus, who serves as Tom's lawyer, picks apart the accusations to prove Tom's innocence. Mayella's inconsistencies in her testimony and Bob's left-handedness contradict the prosecution's narrative. The defense exposes that Tom is disabled and could not have been responsible for the bruises on Mayella's right side, which suggested a left-handed attacker. While Tom states he never assaulted Mayella, the evidence points to a possibility that Bob was the true culprit. Despite Atticus's strong defense, the jury finds Tom guilty and sentences him to death. The trial highlights the racial divide and injustice of the justice system in the South during the 1930s. Southern Prejudice. Atticus fights against systemic racism in a Southern court during Tom Robinson's trial. Although he believes that the jury would acquit Tom Robinson, they ultimately find him guilty. Atticus explains to his children that a white man's word will always beat a black man's word in the South. However, the fact that the jury took hours, not minutes, to reach a verdict is a sign of progress. Even though Jem and Scout are disillusioned with their town, Miss Maudie tells them that Maycomb folk struggle to be Christians in times like these. Atticus was chosen to represent Tom Robinson because he was the right man to do the right thing. Despite their reservations, Jem and Scout understand why Boo Radley never leaves his house in a world like this. The truth behind the revenge. After Tom Robinson's death, everything seemed to have returned to normal in Maycomb. However, Bob Ewell's thirst for revenge led to a bloody Halloween night that would change the lives of Jem, Scout, and Boo Radley. Ewell was dead, but it was not Jem who had killed him. Instead, Boo had saved the children's lives and was willing to take the blame for Yule's death to remain in the shadows. Although Atticus wanted the truth to come out, the sheriff understood that exposing Boo to Maycomb's judgmental eyes would be worse than keeping the real story a secret. The town's fragile peace was preserved, and when Atticus thanked Boo for his bravery, he reminded him that he had saved his children.
As our exploration of To Kill a Mockingbird comes to an end, the significant takeaways from this timeless tale illuminate the struggles of racial inequality, moral values, and the slow march towards a better society. Through Atticus Finch's unwavering commitment to justice and the poignant lessons passed on to his children, Jem and Scout, we see the importance of perseverance in the face of adversity. Additionally, the story of Boo Radley serves as a reminder that understanding triumphs prejudice and that judgment without reason can create detrimental consequences in a society. Ultimately, the character's journey in To Kill a Mockingbird leaves a lasting impact that encourages us to challenge conventional wisdom and seek the truth with an open heart.